No, I got one.
I did.
Yeah,
I thought you got it.
No.
I do $200.
And I drove my car all the way out here for student union, so I didn't have to.
Officer $200. You guys have $200 there. $200.
Your seats are up and starting.
Jacob, oh.
I'll give everyone a minute to get settled.
It's not big. Yeah.
I'll give you all a second to get settled.
Oh, you got it. You got it. You
Grab one.
this?
No, thank you. Could you give me one? Thank you. Thank you so much, Jacob. Sorry. I call to order the October 8th meeting of the Student Government Association. We are live streaming and recording. Please review your agendas while Jacob does roll call.
Nicholas Palumbo.
Here.
Isabella Moniz.
Here.
Anderson Dallaire.
Here.
William Connor.
Here.
Travis McLaughlin.
Here.
Rachel Liu.
Here.
Stella Greenberg.
Here.
Brennan Giuliani. Aiden Luciano.
Here.
Ben James.
Here.
Jacob Trainer.
Here.
Thomas McLaughlin.
Here.
Cody Hoisington.
Here.
Sophia Rubencheck. Melissa Kuzmeski.
Here.
Raymond Kuto.
Here.
Troyo Nozo.
Here.
Ethan Mullinson.
Here.
Christopher Lannon.
Here.
Akila Fakos. Ezekiel Tamarkin.
Here.
Irini Mahida.
Here.
Dominic Zyko.
Here.
Karushama.
Here.
Are there any corrections to the minutes of October 1st, 2024? Seeing none, if there are none, I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
Motion carried.
And now for your presence report, Joseph Bonilla.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope that y'all are excited for today. We are going to have a very eventful meeting today. We have a couple of guest speakers on our docket today. I'm going to give you a brief overview before we get into it. We're going to have members of the CSSE come down and speak from the respective areas. The CSSE, for those of you who do not know the abbreviation, is the Center for Student Success and Engagement. Then we'll have partners from RIDE, Dr. Donovan and Grace Templeton. And then we'll have Dr. Lynn, Shelley, and Dr. Beverly Williams speak about the Westfield Integrative Student Experience. So without further ado, I'll start having our CSSE partners come down one by one for their joint presentation. Just be mindful that we'll be asking questions at the end of all of the CSSE people come down. Thank you. So if someone wants to start off, whoever wants to go first.
I'm standing.
Okay, thank you, Celeste.
I'm Celeste Donovan. I'm the director of the DelRio Student Support Services Program, one of the many great supports. I'm going to keep it moving so that everybody's got time to speak. All of us are here for student broad success. Anyone who walks into any one of our offices is going to get a kind ear and good questions and support and direction for students to get to the right resources that they need to get to. So I think the first thing that we'll always say is just walk in. We'll help you from there. You don't have to worry about keeping everybody perfectly straight. DelRio Student Support Services Program is a federal program that serves students who are eligible in at least one of three ways. Students who are first-generation college students where no parent has a four-year bachelor's degree. Students that are low income, and that's something we verify through the Office of Financial Aid, and or students with a documented disability. We aim to serve students who are not already seeking or not already getting great supports from a program like the LEAD Scholars Program, where they've got great advisor support. We're looking to expand or to not serve students who are served by the Learning Disabilities Program, another program where people have one-on-one advisor support. So we're trying to spread the wealth. The TRIO is another entity for those eligible students. We're federal, so we have to follow that. For those eligible students with one-on-one advising support for college advising, coaching, direction for major exploration, career development, graduation school exploration, really maximizing the Westfield State experience, bolstering student academic success and beyond. So that's TRIO, and I'm going to hand it off to Rob.
Good evening. My name is Rob Thorton. I'm the director. Oh, yeah. My level's right. Okay, great. Rob Thornton, director of our Office of Academic Advising and Transfer Transition. I'm joined by my colleague.
Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Francesca Moriarty. I'm actually one of the advisors in the office.
So we are representing our Office of Academic Advising and Transfer Transition. That's a mouthful. We're here to empower students to take ownership of their educational experience through individualized academic advising in a supportive environment. So our two main takeaways here is one, if you have any questions or concerns about your course selection or the pre-registration process or graduation requirements, you can come to our office. We're open for all. The second is we provide advice regarding academic progress, decisions, degree completion, graduation requirements, you name it. We'll try to troubleshoot the best we can and help you get on the right path. We are open to all students, but we specifically service students that are exploratory, and that's Francesca. She works with over 150 or 160 exploratory students. We also work with students that need to get back in good academic standing. I just want to make a couple plugs. First, we're hosting an advising event. Our academic care package will be on Wednesday, October 23rd, 2:30 to 4:30 in the Owl's Nest. This will be an opportunity to learn about the My Westfield tools available to you in terms of how to search for courses and how to navigate some other features like your degree works. And we'll also have a conversation about that course selection process. We'll also want to make note that there is a new registration period to take note of this year. We started something called cross-registration. So for full-time students that want to take a continuing education course, that's those 501 sections or those 502 sections. Some classes will be available starting on November 25th, Monday, November 25th, and will conclude at the end of the web registration deadline, which is December 6th. So if anyone's looking to take an online course or anything that has a 501 section, you may have to wait to register for those courses. So I just want to give you all a heads up. You will see emails about this from the Office of the Registrar and from us as well. Lastly, I want to make a note that our advising webpage has a tutorial on it. So if you search on the Westfield homepage, advising, we have new tutorials for that new My Westfield that we all seen roll out last spring. I would strongly encourage, if you have first-year students or if there's first-year students here, please come find us if you have questions or concerns about advising registration. And I'm sure WISE will be discussed later, so I'll let them talk about that. But anything about registration advising is available on our webpage as well, dates, etc. So, thanks. Banacos Academic Center, Kristie, come on up.
My name is Kristie, and I'm from the Banacos Academic Center. We've recently moved as of mid-July. We were up in Scanlon while Parenzo was being renovated. We finally moved back. We're just off the back end of Parenzo, and we're right across from the dining commons near the bistro entrance. So one thing about the center, and I'll talk about the two programs that are part of that, but we do welcome all students. We have a big study area there, which was formerly the tutoring room, but now tutoring's in the care center. But that study area is open to all students. If you are a commuter and you want to just drop in and take a few minutes before class or in between classes, you're welcome to come in there and use the space. We also have a computer lab there for all students to use and a printer. So anybody's welcome, whether you're registered with Banacos or not. We welcome students to come in there. So we have two programs in the Banacos Center. We have the Disability Services and the Learning Disabilities Program. And I've worked here for Banacos really since Bill Clinton was president. It's been a while. So, but the Learning Disabilities Program is where I work, and that's a program where students apply as high school seniors. They have to have either ADHD or a learning disability. And they apply through the application process. Often there's an interview. We just want to let them know the services we have. So those students in that program have a program advisor, for the entire time until they graduate. And we work with students at time management or study skills, or just to kind of check in about classes. It's kind of really up to the student. Like sometimes people come to me and I try to, if I can't help them with something, I orient them to, the tutoring center or the math center, which is a great service on campus, and the reading writing center. So we help students kind of try to work on their individual strengths, and the reasonable accommodations that we have provided at the college level are worked out through the program advisor in the Learning Disabilities Program, also called the LDP. The other service we have in Banacos is Disability Services, and that's very similar to what you see in any university or college across the U.S. that gets federal funding through ADA. So those students might come in, maybe there might be a mental health issue, it could be a medical issue, visual, hearing, mobility. Often sometimes students have a temporary disability, like if they have a concussion during an athletic event or something unfortunate like that, but we can provide temporary accommodations for them. So we just need students to provide up-to-date documentation, and then they meet with an access advisor in disability services, and we talk about the appropriate reasonable accommodations that they would have. So like Celeste said, some students might be enrolled in DS, but they might also belong to TRIO, and they have a professional advisor to work with there too. Some of our students are in the LEAD program, TRIO, honors, etc. So I hope you do, if you need a place to study and the library's busy, just come over to the Banacos Center. That's it. Thanks.
Justin, would you like to come up?
Hi, yes. Hi, I'm Justin Marques from Veteran Military Services. I'm a school certifying official and the administrative assistant for the office. So what it means is school certifying official, basically I certify all benefits to the VA. And our office assists and is a resource for veterans, current military, and dependents and spouses of individuals who have served. So we're pretty well connected to most departments on campus. We try to work with everyone because at some point someone's going to need assistance from Banacos, from the Reading and Writing Center, even from student accounts. Just we kind of help navigate that whole roadmap for our students. We have a few events coming up. November 6th, we have a Veterans Day event, kind of still in the works. I know it's not Veterans Day, but we try to do it before the actual event, before the actual holiday. And then November 7th, we have a movie screening called Honor Flight. It's a documentary about these free flights they have for veterans to go to see the monuments in Washington, D.C. So there's a few things we have coming up. I have some flyers if you want to distribute and get the word out for us. You guys always help. So, and in addition to myself, there's Robert Vignal. He's the director, and I'm sure some of you have met him. You've seen him around. He's just at a conference in Kansas City. So that's about it in a nutshell.
Thank you, Justin. Maryanisa DelRio.
My name is Maryanisa DelRio, MISA for short. I am the academic advisor for the Lead Scholars Program here at Westfield. Our program specifically services students that are first gen, Pell Grant eligible, and or students that are from diverse backgrounds. That is flexible, right? We accept students that are students of color, students that have been adopted. If you're not sure if you fit into any of those categories, you can always come into our office. Typically, our students matriculate with our program after completing a 5-week summer bridge, the summer before they start here in the fall. We do adopt students after the fact. They're called our post-bridge adopted students. So if you are looking for support, we provide ongoing academic advising and also personal advising as well. So if you're like, I'm having roommate issues, I don't know who to talk to, or my bill significantly changed from last semester. Who do I talk to? We help with every single issue that you could think of. We want to make sure that you are well supported in your academic endeavors. And even if you're not a part of the lead, we do host a couple of different events. Our upcoming advising party is coming up, just to gather together, communicate with each other, try to figure out what classes we'll take for spring. If you are interested in being adopted into our program, all you have to do is stop by the office and talk to one of our professional staff members, either myself, our director, Latoya Wilson, or our assistant director, Tyrone Brahimian. But thank you.
Thank you. Would all of our guest speakers from the CSSE kindly move up to the podium while we do a Q&A? I'm sorry, Maryanisa. Or in front of the podium, whatever's most comfortable for y'all. Okay, so are there any comments, questions, or concerns for any of our guest speakers from the CSSE? Zeke Markin.
Just to confirm about WISE as well, right?
I'm sorry, what?
About WISE as well, right?
No, this is CSSE. So WISE is coming up.
Okay, I misunderstood.
Okay, thank you. Any further? Daniel Currier, oh my God.
Let's make a general comment. Thank you again for all of you for coming down. I do want to mention that many of these programs do have some of the highest retention rates on campus. We thank you a lot for your work on this. Now that you've been trained on these programs, we certainly encourage you, as Provost Sokol was talking about last week, tell students about these programs, especially if they don't know. Because we're trying the best we can. We've got the admission part down. We got higher admission this year. We now got to get the retention part right. So please tell students about these programs, redirect them as needed. If you have any questions, just reach out to one of us. We can get you in contact with people up here. Just please, please, please tell students about these resources so we can retain more students over the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Any further? Ethan Haynes.
Hi, so I worked on an honor flight recently in Washington, and I must say to anyone that is curious about that, it's one of the most inspiring things you're ever going to see. Veterans coming to see their nation's capital, some of them for the first time. So I want to thank you for bringing that up, and I encourage you all really to go to that. It's a really, really moving experience to witness firsthand, and I can only imagine what the documentary is.
Yeah, it's going to be November 7th, 6 o'clock, Denver stage, or Deaver. Everyone's in state, really. And there'll be a small reception at 5:30, so food as well.
Thank you, Ethan. Sarah Harrington.
Hi everyone, thank you all for coming and speaking. You all broke down what your specific departments does, but does someone mind kind of just explain to everyone what CSSE is, how you guys work together to make it and what students can use it for?
So CSSE stands for the Center for Student Success and Engagement. And really all of our offices work together to ensure that the student all of their needs are being met. So I might not be able to answer every single question about course registration, so I might go to Rob and his team, or I have students that are deciding whether or not they want to join the military, and so I'll connect with Justin and Robert, or even a student that previously may have gotten IEP or 504 accommodations, or might have ADHD or a newly diagnosed condition, and they don't know where to go for support. And so I would go to the Banacos Academic Center to get that student connected. And really sometimes it's walking students down to those offices to get rid of some of that fear that they might have meeting someone new. Does anyone have anything to add?
To simplify student success.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are there any further questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, thank you so much, everyone. Westfield's Integrative Student Experience, Dr. Beverly Williams and Dr. Lynn Shelley.
It is so exciting to be here. I think this is the third or fourth year I've come to talk about the core. We used to call it the core, and I'm sorry, the vast majority of you in this room are still completing the core, and I am so sorry. Because what we now have, for the last couple of years, we were calling it Gen Ed, and now we're calling it WISE, Westfield's Integrated Student Experience. And it is such an amazing curriculum. You have in the handout the curriculum, and you can see that students are taking courses in 4 domains, the Westfield Journey, and that domain is really all about building resilience and community and the interpersonal aspects of the student. There's also analysis, practice, and inquiry, and that's that very traditional area where you're taking courses on communication and critical thinking and scientific literacy and things like that. And then we have exploring complex issues, and this is where our curriculum goes bonkers, and this is what makes us so incredibly special, that students are taking 3 courses in this area where they're exploring real life practical problems. And this really came about in a lot of different ways, but in large part because of responses from students in student surveys. So those of you who filled those out a couple of years ago, thank you so much. But what we learned from those surveys was that students were loving their major courses, appreciating the fact that they were tackling real problems in their majors, but were feeling like core, we're just doing these basic foundational stuff. We weren't actually tackling problems. And what all the literature shows is that when students tackle real life, authentic problems early and often, not only are they capable of it, but it makes them better at doing it later. And so that's why we have these 3 exploring complex issues in the curriculum, and that is so exciting. You're not going to see that at other schools. You might see one at another school, maybe you'll see 2, but rarely will you see a curriculum so based on these complex problems. And then you see we have perspectives, which is all about appreciating inclusion and diversity and global issues. And so we have 4 areas where students are tackling these perspective courses. And then the other thing that's brand new to our campus is university-wide requirements. And that's where we start to have these links, these bridges between what you're doing in Gen Ed, or WISE, and what you're doing in the major. And these are major courses, but courses that link to the Gen Ed curriculum. So you have exploring writing in the major, and you have an integrative experience. And so this is just a really super cutting edge curriculum that all of the first years, I don't know if there's, are there many first years in here? A few. The first years, you are all getting it. So congratulations to the first year students. And I am so sorry the rest of the students are stuck with the old curriculum. So now I'll let Beverly talk about advising and registration.
Thank you. So I'll be talking about this sheet. If anybody needs one, just let us know, we can get one over to you. So first of all, I have to thank Rob Thornton. He designed this sheet, so thank you so much, Rob. And he's got other pieces of it for students. So this is what we're doing department visits throughout the early part of this semester to help faculty understand how to advise our first year students. And this is one of the things that we're giving them. You'll notice that there are classes that are highlighted and classes that aren't highlighted. Those that are not highlighted have gone through governance. So those are proposals that make the classes respond to the learning outcomes and the practice standards that were developed and approved by campus. So those classes have gone through the governance process. They're ready to roll out. Some of you might even be taking some of them this semester. The highlighted classes are those that we know are in the pipeline. There might be more that we've
missed, if somebody put it in and didn't tell us. I don't promise that this is 100% perfect at any time, but we're updating it as we get new information. And so those classes we've included for faculty so that they can advise strategically. So if students are taking, if they want students in their department to take a certain, for example, exploring complex issues class, and it's yellow, then they won't advise that student to take a different class in that area. It wouldn't harm anybody, but it would be a class that would serve as an elective rather than in WISE when you take the next one that your department wants you to take. So that's why we included the yellow highlighted classes, so that when folks are getting advised, well, right now when our first year students are getting advised, that they really won't bump into that issue of kind of taking two in the same area where they only need one. Is there anything else?
No, we're happy to answer your questions though.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Doctors Lynn, Shelley, and Dr. Beverly Army Williams. I'm so sorry. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for either of our guest speakers? Ethan Hayes. Withdraw. Is there any further questions? Zeke to Marques.
Hi, this all sounds good, but are we losing anything or making any sacrifices to change from core to WISE?
That's a great question. I don't think we're losing anything. I think we're gaining a lot. One of the big changes from core to WISE that the seniors and juniors will probably, I think at first they were really sad when they heard this was going, and that's double dipping. Right now in the core, there are courses that can count in more than one area, so you can double dip. And that was really good for the old core, because the problem with the old core is that it was very large. But with the double dipping, you could shrink it. The problem with that is there was a lot of inequity. And basically, students who had early registration were really lucky, and they could shrink their core down to, I think it was 33 credits. Versus if you never took any double dipping, your core was almost 58 credits. And that's just not fair. It's also not in compliance with accrediting standards. And so now there's no double dipping, and every single student is going to take a 41 credit core. And so I know it sounds bad that we no longer have double dipping, but really in practice, because the core is so much smaller already, nothing's being lost. And especially there's a lot more equity, meaning everybody's going to be taking the exact same size core. So I don't think anything's lost. I think there's a lot of gains in that we're really at the cutting edge of where of our understanding of general education. One thing we haven't said, and I could go on for hours about this, so I'm going to not go too far, is the curriculum is loaded with what's called high impact practices. High impact practices are these evidence-based practices that are extremely beneficial to all students. They're active learning practices where students have to do things, and they're really beneficial to all students, but they're especially beneficial to traditionally underserved students. And we find that when all students have these high impact practices, there's higher retention, higher first year grades, higher connection to their university. And these are all great things. And almost every single area in this new curriculum has high impact practices built in. So I see only gains. Do you have more?
Yeah, I just want to talk about the double dipping in a different way, just to assure anybody who might be worried about this. Within your major, you can double dip a class that is in WISE and also for your major. So that doesn't go away. It's just double dipping within WISE. That is no longer here. It's just not necessary anymore. But classes can count to your major. And that's one of the reasons why, I was talking about those highlighted classes, because your major might want you to take that as part of your major. So you want to be strategic about doing so.
Are there any further questions? Sarah Harrington?
Thank you guys for coming down and talking. I just wanted to give a point of information. If you guys remember, 2 weeks ago, I gave a SCORE report. SCORE is the committee that's working on WISE. So if you're interested in joining, we still have 2 student spots open. I don't think.
One.
I think there's a
One
total of
student
2.
spot open. You can talk to me about it, and we can give you more information on it. Dominic.
Are there any further questions, comments, or concerns? Zeke Markin?
First, I do enjoy the lack of double dipping, and I think your intentions are good. But to further add, I've noticed on a lot of these, they do not yet have numbers. Does this mean that the number of classes being offered by Westfield is going up? And if so, well, can we handle that?
The reason the courses that don't have numbers are the ones that are still going through governance, and so the registrar is gonna have to give them numbers. Some of those courses are old courses that are being redesigned, so they're likely to have the same number as their sister course that's, that currently exists in another format. Those other formats usually did not have that high impact practice built in them. So another question that we often get is, well, moving forward, those of you who are having to take out the old core, when you're taking a course, for example, Intro Psych that was offered last year did not have a high impact practice built into it. Moving forward, Intro Psych has a high impact practice built into it, which is actually only beneficial to those who are taking old core classes. So moving forward, PSYC 101 will have a high impact practice in it. And you can get credit in the old core or the new core, but both are taking the new and improved PSYC 101. The second issue is that we are getting new courses. So especially the Exploring Complex Issues, we are getting new courses in that area, but there are also a fairly large number of courses that are being retired. Courses that really weren't being offered or weren't necessarily contemporary and relevant. So there are courses that are being retired. So in the end, we're gonna still have about the same number of courses, but things are shifting around.
Thank you.
Did I answer that? Okay.
Thank you. We have time for 1 or 2 more questions. Daniel Courier?
Yeah, so congratulations, of course, on this new general education rollout. It's been 4+ years in the making, so congratulations on the hard work. I do want to just ask for internal information for the students as well. So SCORE is retiring at the end of the semester, and we'll transition hopefully to a new Gen Ed committee. So we can maybe talk about what that committee will look like and what its purpose will be.
The committee, we're still waiting for this committee to be approved through the governance process, but the committee that we proposed really is going to look very much like SCORE, where there will be a couple student reps, a fairly large number of faculty reps, and then a couple administrators. I think SCORE is supposed to be 14 members, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that the committee we proposed would also be, I think it might have been a little smaller, maybe 10 or 12 members. So, but the same composition where there would be a couple student reps as well as faculty. I have to tell you, the student reps have been, over the years, and there's been others, have been absolutely invaluable in forming what we do. There's so many things behind the scenes that we're not talking about, but things like the transfer policy and things like that. Student reps have been so helpful in informing us how to make this student friendly and student forward. So thank you to this. There's a few in here who have served in the past.
Thank you so much. If there are no further questions,
Small.
Okay, Ezekiel?
Speaking as a transfer student, I've found Westfield's constant use of acronyms that don't line up with other universities to be challenging to understand, such as understanding where I could eat because no one would tell me where the cafeteria was, only the DC. With this in mind then, since WISE is another acronym, what steps will be taken to make that more easily understood by transfers?
That's a great question, and I haven't thought about it, but now you've got me thinking about it. So I don't know the answer to that, but now that you asked it, we'll start thinking about how we could do that, particularly for transfer students. Do you have an answer? Other than we finally have our webpage, so, but.
I don't have an answer, but we met with the president last week, And she really loves our first year journey class that hopefully some of you are in, and I hope you're loving it, your section as well. And that's a class that's designed to help first year students navigate life at Westfield. And she wanted to know if there was something we could do, even if it was a part of orientation for transfer students that would do the same. So we're looking into how we can do that, and that might be a place to demystify some of the acronyms.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming down. Now for a report from the Research, Innovation, Design, and Entrepreneurial Center, Dr. Lemise Jarvinen and Grace Templeton.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Dr. Lemise Jarvinen, and this is Grace Templeton. She is a coordinator for RIDE. I am the executive director of RIDE. RIDE stands for Research, Innovation, Design, and Entrepreneurial Center, and I'm very curious how many of you have heard of RIDE? And how many of you have been to RIDE? That's awesome. All right, so RIDE is a new center on our campus. I had the honor and the privilege to propose the center and design it, and so that's what I came up with, and I hope that it will work to integrate. Our mission really is to expose students to technology, innovation, and entrepreneurial practices that accelerate the learning process, but also allow you to gain skills that make you leaders and provide you with leadership skills that is going to be required for jobs of the future. Because we don't know what job is going to be out there when you graduate, so we want to make sure that you're prepared for it. The center is really designed, I hope all of you drop in, say hello. We're open every single day of the week, 9 to 4, we have drop-in hours. Anytime really, the door is open, come on in. And I'll let Grace talk about some of the events that we host. I think it's really important that you get to know Grace because she is constantly there. She is fantastic with students. She's an alum of Westfield, and so she's very approachable. And I hope so. I hope that I am as well. I love working with students, and I think like Rob said, my goal is to empower you. I think that it's really important that you're coming here for an education, you're learning about the theories and the complexities of your field. What does that really look like in real life, right? So WISE, we should talk about high impact practices and the first year journey. How many of you are taking the first year journey where you're having to come to RIDE or have had to? You're gonna see more and more, right? So the WISE was just rolled out. The center was literally open last October. We didn't start operating until February. So this is the first year we're rolled out as an academic year. And I think in just this first semester alone, we have almost 10 faculty who are teaching first year journeys that are reaching out saying, I'm teaching political science or I'm teaching communication. And I hope when you walk, you can see some of the installations that we have. Actually, I just met with you today about how do we help and support clubs? How do we help and support students who are entrepreneurs? We have an entrepreneurial series coming up. I offer workshops to teach you the skills. What else can I tell you? There's a lot going on. We have the Tool Tuesdays, which is a really fun event. And I'm gonna let Grace talk to you a little bit more about that. But essentially, it's our way of getting you into the door to get trained on a new technology or tool and to DIY something that you can take home. A space like the Innovation Center has stations, it has an incubator space where we hope to bring people together that normally wouldn't come together. It's an opportunity to take a lot of the rapid prototyping, electronics and connected devices, mold making, textiles and wearables, to make you think about how do you take complex problems, which is what WISE is trying to get you to do, but instead RIDE is saying, all right, you own the solution. A lot of times a space like that is relegated to engineering and computer scientists, and we all need engineers and computer scientists. I'm a scientist myself, so I hope that I'm a useful tool for you as a student. But I really want to create a seat at the table. I want you, regardless of your field, to feel like you are part of that design, but really more importantly, you're part of the solution. So when you walk into the Ride Center, I always tell people it's kind of like going to California. It's really cool. You have to chill. You have to learn how to slow down your thinking, how to just be patient with how do you get an idea up here into something that you can share with others, that people can see, feel, touch, experience. And so that requires learning the tools, figuring out how to articulate that idea into something that's a prototype. And so I hope that you come and see us, join us, whether it's through class or not. Also have some innovation challenges that I'm rolling out this year. There are 2 of them. There's the Global Innovation Challenge, and we're starting with actually, some of you may or may not know her. She is a clinician and a PA faculty, and she services the people of Peru. So every year she goes down to Peru, and I've asked her to come and share her experiences and think about what are the challenges that either the clinician or the patients are experiencing. How do we solve those challenges with solutions that we prototype, test, R&D, and then hopefully take back, right? And the other one is an innovation challenge that we collaborate. We're really huge on collaboration. So if you ever want to have a meeting with your club or whatever, we are more than happy to have you. But our other collaboration is with the Interfaith Center, and the challenge is all about a sense of belonging. So how do we challenge you to take the meditation garden and to create a sense of belonging, whether it expresses who you are culturally, or maybe, you want people to experience the garden during the night or more sensory, whatever it may be, we're challenging you. There's money for both innovation challenges, not only to prototype, but also for the participants. So if money is a motivating factor for you, we are happy to try and motivate you that way. But I want Grace to kind of tell you about some of the other events that are coming up, including pop-up events.
We can talk all day too, so we're not going to.
So hi everyone, I'm Grace Templeton. Like Dr. Jarvinen said, I'm an alum. I was an English major here, and I love to share that with students because I do love to hear your stories and hear your backgrounds. I was a non-traditional student as well, and I actually got to know Dr. Jarvinen during COVID, believe it or not. I would come to Bates Hall as a commuter and I'd leave. I wouldn't talk to anyone, and I got to know her when I got a summer research fellowship grant, and that really kind of broke my shell and got me more networking and interdisciplinary work. And I love to share that with students because that's exactly what's being embodied in the Ride Center, all the interdisciplinary collaboration, looking into avenues of study or ideas that you didn't think that would fit into your major or that you didn't know interested you. So I'd love to share that because I think it's really important to understand, and it's a gift if you get to experience that as an undergrad. So as Dr. Jarvinen said, we do have the Tool Tuesdays workshops. I gave out a postcard for those. We have 3 more for the semester, and those have been great so far. They've been wonderful. I really encourage you to all stop by if you can. Even if you can only come for 10 minutes and start it, you can come back another time and finish it. So please share that with students as well. And then we're going to start some pop-up events this semester too, because a problem that we recognize is people don't know where Ride is, or they don't know that we're there. So we're going to go out on campus and start.
Did today, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we had our first one today outside the Interfaith Meditation Garden, where we had Epsom salts and we had essential oils, because essential oils, they have immediate effects on you by smelling them. It can calm your heart rate, it can help reduce stress, but in the long term, it can really help with anxiety, depression, all of that. So we wanted to encourage students, faculty, and staff to take a minute, and then they got to sniff the different oils, and then they could make their own little Epsom salt to take home. And we got to, while they're doing that, that takes about 5 minutes, so we get to talk to them about all the opportunities for them in Ride.
And the other pop-up events?
Yep, so we're going to do a couple more. We're going to do one for STEM Week in Wilson later in the month, and that's going to be DIY stress balls. So again, you can come here and make the stress balls to take back with you. That'll be in the commuter cafe area of Wilson. And then the following one is going to be in the DC. We're going to do something really interesting for that one. Stay tuned, but I do encourage you all, please follow the Ride Instagram. That's where all of our events are posted. We're working on really our social media presence, so that's really important as well if you want to stay up to date with our events. I'll let you talk about the.
And then lastly, the website. How do they find us?
So how do you find us? So if you search in Ride Westfield State, we will come up, but we're also, I'm trying to think if if we're under, I think we're under student success and engagement.
No, we're under institutional advancement, so that's a strategic move by.
Yeah, but so the area of campus or the area of the websites that we're on, if you just search RIDE Westfield State, it'll come up. And we have all of our events up there. We keep it up to date with RIDE happenings and news. We also keep it up to date. It's very interesting, our faculty fellow projects as well, if you ever want to go on there and see how faculty are using it, to kind of see, maybe you have an idea for one of your classes and you want to mention it to one of your professors. We've had a couple students do that already. So that's really inspiring to see them thinking about those things as well. Mostly everything.
Come see us.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for our campus partners in RIDE? Zeke Markin?
Hi. As a transfer, I've never heard of RIDE. I think I was the only person that didn't raise their hand. What efforts will be done to let new students know that RIDE exists and what RIDE is?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we are actively working with admissions. I think admissions have done a really good job, especially with the incoming, to let them know about RIDE. In everybody's defense, this is a new center. So even folks on campus may not know about it. And so that's why we're trying to go out into the community to do pop-ups, to have the Tool Tuesdays. And being integrated into the classrooms is a fantastic way to bring you to a center that you probably didn't even know about or don't think that you really need. So we will continue to do that, and we're always happy to hear from you about how we can increase our reach, how we can reach you, Instagram, whatever it may be. We are more than happy because really this is a resource for you. It's really a cool place where you have tools that you wouldn't normally have access to and people you wouldn't normally have access to, whether it's us or other experts in the field. To really help you think through what it is that you want to do. It's really a place for you to figure out what your passions are and then align your future jobs with what you're passionate about, because otherwise you're just gonna hate your job. So.
Thank you. Do we have time for one or two more questions? Are there any further? Did you have a question? Oh, okay. Sarah Harrington?
Hi Grace, hi Dr. Donovan, thank you guys for coming down. I want to let everyone know that the stickers that we made for the upcoming registration events were made at the RIDE Center. So if you guys plan on helping and volunteering for that, you can tell people that if they come. But Grace, when I was there, I had to be trained on how to use the Cricut because that's what I used to make the stickers. And Grace told me about badges that you guys are planning on doing. If you get trained on something, I think it's a really cool initiative. So can you just talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, just really quickly, all of the equipment you need to be trained on. And on the website, there is a form that allows you to schedule a training session with either Grace or one of our student workers. And so what we'll end up starting to do is we will create literally like a badge that you can wear with your picture and your name, and it will have a sticker that goes along with the particular equipment that you have been trained on, just so that we know that you've been trained. But even then, at no point are you ever left loose in the space. We're always there to help you. And if you want to bring your material to use it, we just need to make sure it's compatible with our equipment. Oh, one thing about material, being through institutional advancement, there has been such a generous outpouring of funding that happens through the alum. Ryan and his team work so hard to bring funding to support something like this, and it allows me then to say to you, I don't care if you have funds to buy a piece of paper or a spool of thread. That should not be the reason why you don't come in and have access to things. So really kudos to the institutional advancement team because of them, it allows us to provide materials and accessibility that really mean nothing to them. So.
Thank you so much. Are there any further questions or one last question? Seeing none, thank you so much. Alrighty. Alrighty, thank you everyone for participating in those Q&As. Don't worry, my report is pretty brief. I just have a few line items and then we'll be moving into a short recess so y'all can get some food. So I move to appoint Cecilia Campbell as a Courtney Hall representative for the fall 24, spring 25 academic year.
Second.
It's been moved.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Celia Campbell as a Courtney Hall representative for the academic year.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns on the matter? Seeing none.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions?
Congratulations, Cecilia. I have a second appointee. I move to appoint Emma Bose as the University Hall rep for the fall 24, spring 25 academic year.
So moved.
It's been moved. Oh, no, it's not on.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint, what was it?
Emma Bose?
Emma Rose.
Bose.
To the SGA for the.
I'm sorry, can we redo that, Emma Bose?
Emma Bose, thank you. I do apologize. For the fall 25, spring 26 academic year.
It's been a day.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to appoint Emma Bose as a University Hall representative for the fall 24, spring 25 academic year. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Congratulations. There will be no quote of the day, quote of the week for my report today because you'll be getting that later today. You'll understand when you get that. Please be advised that there will be a mandatory onboarding session at the end of this meeting, not for too long, just a couple of minutes. For all of the new senators, those of you who already did it, you don't have to be there. And I move to open a 5-minute recess until, what time is it? Until 6:26 so that y'all can get some mashed potato bowls.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Great. See you at 6:26.
I know.
Yes, I did. I was
Back to order the meeting. Take a second to get what you need and sit down when you get a chance. Great. And now for your Board of Trustees report, and now for your All University Committee report, Ethan Haynes.
I expect my paperclip back at the end of this, Jacob. Oh, this is fun. That's fun. I can project. All right, good evening. AUC met on October 4th during the common hour starting at 1:40 p.m. Chair Jesse Johnson gave a brief report clarifying what the committee does, and I will share with you that just so everyone in this room is clear on what AUC does. All University Committee does not approve items and that is to be implemented at the university level. We simply recommend approval to the President's Office items from University Curriculum Committee or UCC. The first part of the meeting, we approved minutes from the September 20th meeting by a vote of 9-0. After that, we then moved 4 items from UCC, a 100-level math course, a mathematics minor, a capstone seminar for the political science department, and a 300-level course for the political science department. The referral passed 7-0-2 with myself and 1 other member abstaining. I was not present for the previous meeting as I was just appointed this past week. The next item of business was to refer 7 items from UCC, the University Curriculum Committee, to the President's Office. A 200-level finance course, a 100-level art course, a 200-level art course, a 200-level geography planning and sustainability course, 3 300-level courses of that same department. And this was all passed along to the President's Office by a vote of 7-0-2. Again, myself abstaining as I was not there for the previous meeting and I was appointed to the committee. Finally, we opened up new business with a mini report from SCORE. SCORE Report 7 will be brought to the All University Committee on October 18th, where they will present the full report itself and an assessment plan. They're looking for feedback and adding practice standards. If you have any on that, please email me that feedback that you would like me or Joseph to present to the committee. The representative from SCORE did say that this will be one of their final reports. We adjourned at 2 o'clock with a following meeting date of October 18th in the same room in Parenzo.
Thank you, Ethan. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Ethan Haynes? Seeing none, I just have a point of information. What's it called? So the All University Committee also reviews policy recommendations from APC and whatnot. Everything just reports down that way, funneled down, and sent to the President's Office. Just for those of you to clarify process, if you're a senator that is interested in joining, we have 1 more seat. Just have a conversation with me, and we can discuss being appointed. It's a lot of fun. Are there any further questions? Seeing none, now for your Board of Trustees report, Daniel Courier.
For once, no report.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Daniel Courier? Seeing none, thank you, Dan. Now for your Vice President of Student Life report, Justin Wald.
All right, hello everybody. Today I met with Chris Willenbrock. That's enough of that. Chris Willenbrock, the Director of Residential Life, and we discussed the internet issues in residence that have been occurring in the past week or so. She gave me information from Alan Blair regarding the issues being faced currently. He said there are no major issues they are aware of and that they have found that the instructions they are sending out are not being followed. Most tickets sent to IT get resolved within a business day. And if it's not during the work week, they sadly don't have enough staff to cover the weekends. But he gave us some things that we can use to resolve these issues. You can read the instructions they send out more in depth because it seems like they're having issues with people doing it properly, and that's where a lot of the questions they get arise, or your device isn't properly registered so the internet isn't working properly. They want people to report issues when they come up, and then they said knowing how to manage your devices will also go a long way in helping the experience.
Thank you, Justin. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Justin Wald? Zeke Marques?
They mentioned reporting if there's an incident, which they were stating to do online, which they can't do if they don't have a connection. Did I understand that right?
You can do it online, or you can, like if it's in a res hall, you can go to your RA. If it's in, like if you're in the library and there's an issue, you can report it to one of the staff members working there. Just anything to get the word out so they can figure out the issue and get it resolved as fast as possible.
Thank you. Are there any further questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, thank you, Justin. Student Affairs Committee report, Justin Wald.
All right. The Student Affairs Committee met last Friday and discussed many things, from the disconnect between student leaders and the general student population, how we can combat accessibility issues on campus, and how we can properly utilize the common meeting time to engage with students. The biggest takeaways were on accessibility and how to better use the common meeting time. For accessibility, we discussed current issues on campus, and a new student member asked if I could bring members of campus who face these issues on a daily basis to my meeting with facilities so they can get a better grasp on the issues. I asked facilities and they said I would be able to, and I think it's a great idea, so I will be getting at least 2 students to come with me to that meeting. Lastly, we discussed potentially doing an educational speaker series during the common hour or proposing something of the sort to bring senators, representatives, authors, and other high-profile speakers to campus. We thought this would be a great idea to utilize the common hour and engage with students. We intend to discuss more at the next meeting.
Thank you, Justin. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Justin Wald? Seeing none, thank you, Justin. Now for your Vice President's report of academic life, Sarah Harrington.
No report.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Sarah? Seeing none, thank you. Curriculum Committee reports, Sarah Harrington.
Melissa had somewhere to be, so I'll be giving her report. This was not on. On Friday, October 4th, the University Curriculum Committee met from 1:40 to 3:30. We then moved on to discuss the graphic design minor, which is going to be 21 credits. Most minors are 18 credits though, and our few are changing to 21 credits. The short discussion was had about whether 1 credit courses may be taken under special arrangement. They may only be taken once under the minor. Next, we moved on to the environmental science program, 2-sentence revision in course description, or in program description, which was tabled until further clarification. Chemistry department presented a proposal where all prereqs will need a C- or higher, so that to satisfy moving to the next level and to satisfy degree. Anything under a C- would go into electives. This was something that I talked about in my last UCC report that was previously tabled because they need to have a conversation with the registrar on it and like if that'd be feasible. The committee moved to pass this proposal after considerable discussion. Finally, we discussed 3 finance proposals, 2 of which were passed and 1 was tabled in order for them to discuss more with the economics department. Please reach out if you have any further clarification questions or what these courses are.
Thank you, Sarah. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Sarah Harrington? Seeing none, thank you. Now for your Vice President's report of student equity, Lorraine Fernandez.
I have no report for this week, I'm sorry.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Lorraine? Seeing none, thank you, Lorraine. Now for your Vice President's report of finance, Austin Morgan.
Don't worry, guys, I actually have a report. Good evening, everyone. I met with VP Taxa yesterday, and we started off with discussing the things the university will be facing in the future. He spoke about how he expects a technology fee increase to match the innovation and technology and its overall advancement. To balance this off, he believes that we won't see an increase in dining costs like we have seen in previous years. And then in June, the contract for Follett, our book sale provider, is going to be expiring, and the Massachusetts college system is looking into a possible new provider. Finally, he spoke about how the facilities master plan committee is going to be focusing a lot on wayfinding this year. The thought behind this is any student on campus should be able to find their way to where they are looking. Excuse me, I'm just going to go off the cuff of this. The idea is that they're trying to make more central signage and more signage on campus, so people who don't frequent campus or first-year students can find where they're going. Any student on campus should be able to get to where they're trying to go based on signage alone. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at vpfinance.sga@westfield.ma.edu.
Thank you, Austin. Are there any questions, comments, concerns for Austin Morgan? Seeing none, thank you, Austin.
Go Birds.
Now for your Vice President's support publicity, Elizabeth Mercer.
Hi everyone. I'm going to introduce myself for real this time, but thank you, Sarah, for saying my report for me last time. I'm Elizabeth, and this is my fourth year at SGA. I am a senior psychology major from Wallingford, Connecticut. I love being active, such as going to the gym, yoga, and doing Pilates. Besides from SGA, I'm a member of WAFE, and I'm on the women's ice hockey team. I hope to see you all at my games this season. But congratulations to all the new senators, and I look forward to meeting and getting to know you all. And for those returning, welcome back. Congratulations, Melissa, for being nominated as a Senator of the Month. Recognizing all the hardworking senators is one of my favorite things to do in the role. Also included in my role, which is new this year, is the Special Committee for Publicity and External Relations. I've reached out to a few senators who's expressed interest, but I'm excited to welcome anyone else who's interested. Also in my role, I host Owl Ball, which is a spring dance located at Toccoa Country Club. I'm currently in the process of choosing a DJ, so I'm asking you all for your opinions. So option one is the DJ from last year. This would entail a 360 cam and would cost $2,000. And then option two is the Glow Party DJ, which would include a photo booth, which would cost $1,700. I'll text this in Teams to let you guys think about this, but I would love to hear your feedback as soon as possible, as I'm planning on finalizing this decision by the end of the week. See me after this meeting if you have any questions or want to come up and introduce yourself. Also, before I end this report, if any of you need anything, such as someone to talk to, support on your ideas, or as simple as needing someone to listen to, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to be there for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Elizabeth?
Joseph Bonilla.
I have a point of information, or I guess just a point of clarity. What's it called? We do want to know, like, based off of those of y'all who experience either of the DJs, if you have a certain preference, or if you have any thoughts prevailing. Just for reference, for the first years, the other DJ option was the person who was available during the glow party. And then the DJ before that was someone we've had in previous years. So if there's any of that, please provide that so that we can make an informed decision on that. Thank you. Are there any further questions? Anderson, DelRio.
Hi Liz,
Hi,
happy to have you
Anderson.
back. Do you know what day Owl Ball's gonna be?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
I think Thor has it
Thor tomorrow?
information.
It'll be Friday, April 11th. Yeah, so
Yay.
you can book that person so that they don't get booked by someone else.
Joseph Bonilla.
Could you clarify for the new senators in the room what Owl Ball actually is?
Yes, Owl Ball is, we've been doing Owl Ball for like years now. It's basically a spring dance, and it's formal wear. The themes change every year. You guys can sit on the Owl Ball committee, which is basically like helping to come up with like decorations and themes and flyers and all the details that go into planning, which I'm the chair of. But that committee is next semester, so if you guys are interested, just let me know like now. I can sign you up for next semester. But this takes place, like Laura said, April 11th, right? April 11th, and it's open to all classes. So yeah.
Thank you. Cody Hoisington?
I'm a member of the Lead Scholars Program, and I believe the DJ that was at the Glow Party is the same one we had during Lead, and I believe he was a great DJ. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
Thank you. Is there any further questions, comments, or concerns for Elizabeth? Seeing none, thank you, Elizabeth. Now for your Executive Secretary report, Jacob Constant.
Hello, Senate. It's time for another Exec Sec report. Woo! But it's time to get into the nitty-gritty. When the meeting is in session, I would like to make it clear that nobody should be on their phones or laptops. If you need to use your laptop during the meeting, please come and see me or send an email and we can make arrangements. Many of you have probably noticed that I do have my laptop open during the meetings. However, I am taking the notes for the meetings. And then for my phone, which is positioned over here, I am taking a recording of the meeting in case the live stream fails, which it has before. And then next, I do want to add that I am tracking office hours, and if people are not doing theirs, let me look at that. Next, I do want to add, I am tracking office hours and if people are doing this or not. Now that we have a full Senate, I will be starting to crack down on those of you who are not doing their office hours. I don't want it to feel like a chore, but we do need everyone to make sure that they are doing the office hours to make sure we are hearing what's going on around campus and help to get things done. As a note, not doing your office hours does count as a half absence for the week. In order to log your office hours, if you are in here, please scan the QR code on the papers around the room, which are over by the couches and just spread out. But if you are doing your office hours in another location, please send me a message on Teams and I'll get you the link to log your office hours. As not doing your office hours, attending your committee meetings, and attending SGA after 4 absences will result in an immediate removal from SGA. There will also be a mandatory training session directly after the meeting. If you participated in the previous training session, you are not required to attend this one. If you cannot attend this training session tonight, please send me an email or a message on Teams. Also, I invited all senators to join the SGA organization on present, so please accept it. And then if you have any questions, please let me know. And my email is execsec.sga@westfield.ma.edu.
Thank you, Jacob. Are there any questions, comments, concerns for Jacob Constable?
Joseph Bonilla.
Hi, everyone. Just know, your office hours are meant to be intentional and purposeful, so try and think about creative ways to utilize them to meet your constituencies, whether you're a hall rep in University Hall, Courtney Hall, maybe you collaborate with the residential life staff there and you are available when they're also available and you have like an office hour. Or, class council, maybe there's certain locations where people of your class typically spend more time, show up there. Think of innovative ways to make it more purposeful and intentional, because if you're just sitting here, then who's actually coming during your office hour? The office hour is really an opportunity for you to make yourself available to your respective constituencies. And, there will also be opportunities where instead of doing an office hour, you might be able to participate in community service or civic engagement that can substitute for that. It's not really, we're not trying to be like, oh, you have to do this or that, but we want to make sure that your roles are purposeful, that they're intentional, and that everything that you do has a big culmination of thought behind it. Sarah Harrington?
Going off of that, make sure to spread the word, use your resources that you have. If you've seen around campus, Justin has a flyer up with his office hours. Use your social media. That's a great way to get people going. You can just make a flyer and post it every week, saying where your location is at that time. But yeah, making sure that it's useful and people know about it.
Thank you. Are there any further questions, comments, or concerns for Jacob Conklin? Seeing none, thank you, Jacob. And now for your parliamentarian report, Ethan Haynes.
2 in 1 night, what a treat. Good evening, Senate. I want to get a formal introduction to you all. My name is Ethan Haynes, as you've probably found out by now. I'm a transfer student from Dickinson, North Dakota. I'm a political science major with a concentration in law and a minor in history. And as we all voted last week, I'll be your parliamentarian for this academic year. As such, I will be chairing the Rules and Regulations Committee and the Constitutional Review Committee. I was able to post my office hours, on the back pillar in the back of the room. And I want to emphasize that if you or any of our fellow students wish to start a club on campus, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is on my flyer back there, along with the QR code to register to vote for anyone that is not able to make it to our register to vote event. If you have any questions that you need, just immediately message me on Teams or my email, parley.sga@westfield.ma.edu. Along with that, I also have accepted the resignation of Anderson Dallaire from the Constitutional Review Committee. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Ethan. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Ethan Haynes? Seeing none, thank you, Ethan. Is there a motion to open new business? Daniel Courier?
I move to open new business.
It's been moved. Is there a second to this motion? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay. Justin Wald?
Sorry. You're good. All right, so yesterday I met with Marley Berg and a representative from the Student Athletic Advisory Committee, or Council, sorry. And we discussed the seat that they currently have on Senate that hasn't been filled in the past few years. We discussed that changes would need to be made to accommodate athletic representation. And that is where this waiver comes in, to act in the place of an amendment to fill that seat without having to wait for con review to be over. All right, let's get into this. Let's see if I can match Dan with this. FY25 SGA Resolution 4. Resolution to grant a waiver of requirements under the legislative accountability bylaws to the representative of the Student Athletic Advisory Council. Whereas the Student Athletic Advisory Council, SAC, wishes to fill its seat in the legislature, and whereas the Executive Council recognizes that special circumstances exist that may prevent student athletes from effectively performing all responsibilities under the legislative accountability bylaws, and whereas the Executive Council wishes to grant a waiver for the representatives holding this seat in order to have effective athletic representation during SGA meetings, therefore be it resolved that the Student Government Association hereby grants a waiver of the office hour and committee requirements promulgated under the legislative accountability bylaws to the representatives of the Student Athletic Advisory Council for the remainder of the 2024-2025 academic year, and be it further resolved that this position may be filled by a rotating slate of student athletes from the Student Athletic Advisory Council, and be it further resolved that the Student Government Association requests that the Constitutional Review Committee consider changes to the Constitution that allow for effective representation of student athletes in the long term. Is there a motion to approve the waiver?
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns on the resolution? Seeing none, all those in favor? Oh, Jacob? I'm sorry, what? Yeah, we're doing a roll call vote. Yeah, sorry. So Jacob will do a roll call vote. He'll call your name, say yay, nay, or abstain, and we'll get this rolling. Jacob?
Nicholas Colombo. Yay. Isabella Moniz.
Yay.
Anderson Delaire.
Yay.
William Connor.
Yay.
Travis McLaughlin.
Yay.
Rachel Liu.
Yay.
Stella Greenberg.
Yay.
Aiden Luciano. Ben James.
Yay.
Jacob Trainer. Thomas McLaughlin.
Yay.
Cody Hoisington.
Yay.
Melissa Kuzmeski. Raymond Cruto. Yay. Cecilia Campbell.
Yay.
Troya Nozel.
Yay.
Emma Bose.
Yay.
Christopher Lannon. Yay. Ezekiel Tamarkin.
Yay.
Irini Mahida.
Yay.
Dominic Zyko.
Yay.
Haru Sharma.
Yay.
Joseph Bonilla.
Yay.
Ethan Haynes.
Yay.
Justin Ward.
Yay.
Sarah Harrington.
Yay.
Oscar Morgan.
Yay.
Elizabeth Mercer.
Yay.
Lorraine Fernandez.
Yay.
Me, yay. Daniel Courier.
Aye.
There's a unanimous vote, so motion carries. Sorry, it was supposed to be I don't know why I said yay. I apologize, y'all. Dan, would you like to come up to the podium?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you. Oh, we can do evens first. Yeah, we'll have to.
Oh, you want to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Go on.
Awesome. All right, due to Anderson Delaire's unfortunate resignation from the Constitutional Review Committee, I move to open nominations for the Constitutional Review Committee from the class of 2025.
So moved. It's been moved and seconded. Do we just do it? Or do we have to do it?
Yeah. Open up nominations. Nominations are open.
Nominations are open. Are there any nominations from the class of 2025? Sarah Harrington.
I nominate Guru Sharma.
Guru Sharma, do you accept this nomination?
I accept.
Okay. And we're gonna do
further?
Are there any further nominations for the class of 2025? Seeing none, congratulations, Guru.
All right. So, nearly 3 years ago, some of us in this room were present for a meeting where we bid farewell to Barbara Hand, better known simply as Barb, SGA's advisor and biggest supporter. Each member of the Executive Council provided parting thoughts, and this organization thanked Barb for her many years of service to the organization. Now retired, the contributions that Barb made to this organization will continue to be remembered for generations to come. Tonight, SGA continues that tradition of wishing an outgoing advisor well in the next chapter of their life. While this advisor was only with us for just over 2 years, their contributions to our organization are numerous. As a young professional, Laura Cafaro has proven herself to be a powerful force on our campus and a fierce advocate for the student body. She has worked diligently to support our registered student organizations, even when administrative support was not available. I first met Laura during the spring 2022 semester, and I, along with Summer King, a recent graduate, had the chance to hear directly from Laura about her experience and what she would bring to the table. I enthusiastically supported her hire in the role of coordinator of student involvement. I've had the chance to work alongside her, first in my role as vice president of finance, and finally in my role as student trustee. I believe we've both learned from one another. I know that Laura will continue to excel as she begins a new role. Each executive council member has prepared brief remarks to share with you all. Following these remarks, we will vote on a resolution recognizing Laura for her outstanding contributions as an advisor to the SGA. Finally, we will present a signed certificate to Laura, signed by members of the executive council, to thank her for her years of service to our organization. So we'll begin with some words of appreciation.
Austin Morgan.
Even though this is the first year that you directly advised me, I want you to know that your support and guidance has been momentous in my life. I said to you walking in this year that I wanted to grow as a professional, and I was looking forward to learning from you. And you've offered me so much in such a short amount of time. And as I said when I was giving my speech when I received that award, it was the amazing people that I learned from. Was the reason why. So I want to thank you for everything. Good luck in your speech.
Sarah Harrington.
Laura, thank you for everything that you've done for us. It's so sad to see you go, but we're so happy that you're going to be doing amazing, bigger, and better things. I would love for you to be our next bar, to be here for however long, but I know you're going to do amazing in your next position. Thank you for not only being a great advisor, but someone I knew I could go to with really anything. I can't wait to see you on campus with my hey girl.
Justin. So in the past few years on SGA, you've been the one constant thing that's brought us all together. You're the first advisor for my class council. You've supported me as a class president, and now as VP of Student Life, and I really appreciate the dedication you have to us, just as single people and to us as an organization. I'm really grateful for everything you've done for us, and I wish you the best of luck, but as one door closes, another one opens, and I'm glad that one is still here at Westfield.
Ethan?
So I didn't have any remarks prepared. I just found out about this a few hours ago. But I have to say my fondest memory with you, Laura, was about a year ago in your former office, I should say now. When I came to you after I was accepted to be an intern in Congress, and I was very unsure about where I was. The one person that gave me the most clarity was you. And there's no bigger reason I went than you. Thank you.
Jacob?
First off, thank you so much, Laura, for always being there when I have ever needed assistance from you. Even though this is my first year on exec, and I've only had a few meetings with you about being in this role, you are always so caring and helpful whenever we meet. Finally, thank you so much for helping me get through this very stressful time that was elections.
Elizabeth?
Much love, Laura. Love you, girl. I have to keep things upbeat because otherwise I will cry. So, I will see you at hot yoga next Wednesday.
Lorraine?
Hi, Laura. Well, I'm very, very recent here in my position here at SGA, so my memories mostly are being at Lafayette E-Board. I started as a secretary, and I was kind of just lost, and I remember the first 2-3 people that were told to me this is the person to go to was besides Matt, Maureen, Robbie at the time. No, Dan, Robbie at the time. But then it was you. I must have sent you so many emails asking about every single little thing because I had so many questions, and you always answered every single one of them. Your office was always the place I used to go to if I had any questions, and I just really appreciated that openness that you had for students for any questions, any help or anything. You were so kind to everyone, and I just really appreciate everything that you've done, all your contributions to the entire Westfield State. I I will miss you, both SGA and also for Lafayette, but I wish you the best in your career, and yeah.
Thank you, Lorraine. LOL, Joseph's not crying. Joseph cries in your office all the time. So as we're celebrating Laura, I just want to say a few short remarks. You're a really remarkable individual who's had a serious impact on student government and our campus. And honestly, our Student Government Association has I'm sorry, wow. You have been nothing short of transformative for our Student Government Association. I think that when I first started here as a first year, I knew what the heck is going on. Laura was like, you need to figure this out. We're gonna get you to where you need to be. And honestly, like if it wasn't for someone like you guiding me, I probably wouldn't end up in the role that I am in right now. So I really do appreciate you for believing in me and believing in all of us. And like I said earlier, I didn't have a quote of the day then, but I do now. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Do not follow where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Laura has embodied this spirit every day, forging new paths and creating opportunities that have shaped our association for what it is today. I often think of people like seasons, each with their own purpose and timing. And Laura, you've been like spring for us. Your energy, fresh ideas, and unwavering support have brought a new life to our community, encouraging us all to bloom. Just as spring makes way for summer, your contributions have paved the way for future leaders and initiatives. As you embark on your new journey, we wish you all the best, and may you continue to leave your unique trail wherever you go, inspiring others just as you inspired us. And I don't mean that in a cheesy way, like on a bookshelf somewhere. I really do mean that. So thank you, Laura, for everything. Cheers.
All right, so now moving on to part 2 of 3. Oh, this is resolution, then a certificate. There you go. So we do want to pass a resolution to thank Laura for her outstanding contributions as an SGA advisor. And we also have another copy, so if she ever wants to hang this in her office, she can do so. So the resolution number 5, to recognize the outstanding contributions of Laura Cafaro, advisor to the Student Government Association. Whereas Laura Cafaro has served in the roles of coordinator of student involvement and senior coordinator of student involvement since June 2022. And whereas in these roles, Laura Cafaro has provided effective counsel and guidance to the Student Government Association and its officers. And whereas Laura Cafaro has gone above and beyond the call of duty in supporting our registered student organizations. Therefore, be it resolved that the Student Government Association recognizes and thanks Laura Cafaro for outstanding contributions as a member of the SAIL team and advisor to the SGA, and wishes her the best in her future endeavors. Is there a motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Laura, would you like to get your certificate? Can we get a round?
Laura, please know that you are always welcome back here anytime, and we look forward to seeing the incredible work that you do in your new role. As we lose Laura as an advisor, we do want to note that an interim structure has been implemented and will be communicated to you. Matt and Shannon will be assisting us alongside Ryan for the foreseeable future. Please stay tuned for further updates on how Laura's functions are dispersed and when and how this critical position will be filled. But this week, we do want to thank Laura for all that she has done over the past 2.5 years. One final round of applause for Laura Cafaro.
Is there a motion to close new business? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Are there any announcements? Daniel Courier.
As usual, Accounting and Finance Club interview preparation this Thursday, so if you want to just learn how to do well in an interview, please come down.
Are there any further? Ethan Hayes.
The mailroom has a nice little information for voters. Go pick one up.
Thank you, Ethan. Are there any further? Laura Cafaro.
I'll have to keep it short, so I don't cry. Thank you very much. For the new folks in the room, this was my first professional job.
And it was like a doozy, right? Managing all of them is a lot. But it's really been incredible to prepare me exponentially for anything I do in the future. Whether that's leading a group through something, being a better friend to someone, and then also just being a young professional, kind of navigating everything just as you all will be in a few short years. You'll find yourself connecting with different people at work, no matter who it is. And it's just so important that you even impact you that. So I really hope that I did that for everyone in the room. As shared, I will still be here working in our events and conferences office under the Institutional Advancement Division. So I'll still be around. I'll be down at Horace Mann for a moment in time, and then my office will be moving to Scanlon. So please stop by. I would love to see everyone, and I will make sure to come by here as well. But you guys will be nervous when you see me because I won't have anything to give you. So it's a different vibe there, you know. But thank you so much. Don't forget how much of an impact student government can make. There's a lot of really new faces in our room. So just ask your questions, and if you see an issue and a gap that is inhibiting students to be successful here, name it and speak on it, and everyone get you connected to the folks who can actually make the change, and you can see it happen, and you're actually the person who can make it happen, so don't forget that. So thank you so much. It's been really fun here, and I can't wait to see you all continue to do.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Any further announcements? Seeing none, Nicholas Palumbo?
221 days to punishment.
Thank you. Roll call.
Nicholas Palumbo.
Here.
Isabella Moniz.
Here.
Anderson Delaire.
Here.
William Connor.
Here.
Travis McLaughlin. Here. Rachel Liu.
Here.
Stella Greenberg.
Here.
Aiden Luciano.
Here.
Ben James.
Here.
Jacob Trainer.
Here.
Thomas McLaughlin.
Here.
Cody Hoisington. Here. Raymond Kuchel.
Here.
Cecilia Campbell.
Here.
Troyelle Nozel.
Here.
Emma Bose.
Here.
Christopher Landon.
Here.
Ezekiel Tamarkin.
Here.
Dominic Zyko.
Here.
Irini Mahida.
Here.
Guru Sharma.
Here.
If there's no additional business, I move to adjourn, or I call to adjourn the October 8th meeting of the Student Government Association until October 15th. Thank you.
Still have training.
Yeah, for our student senators, we're going to be really brief. We just have a few quick things for y'all. Sorry.
You're with me.
Yeah.